Time and put Leyton Orient in front, and Leyton Orient have come from behind and surely have picked up 3 precious points.
Welcome to Orient Live. It's a massive fixture here at the BetRight Stadium today, and we're bringing you all of the action as the O's prepare to face Peterborough here at home. And the O's are looking to do something they haven't done yet this season, and that's win back-to-back league fixtures. And how much are those 3 points needed? Well, Brendan, Pitcher and Jabba Abir will tell us all about it, and it would be very nice to do back-to-backs, Brendan.
It would be. You've mentioned it there. It hasn't happened yet this season. I think we've been here many times in these exact positions after a good victory and a good performance, thinking, right, we'll kick on from here. This is the start of the season. This is the Richie Wellens, Leyton Orient we all know and expect, and it hasn't quite happened yet. But hopefully today's the day. It's not the hardest game in the world in terms of on paper, in terms of the opposition. So if we go in with the same kind of attitude and same kind of performance levels that we showed on Tuesday, then there's no reason why not. We can't make it 2 from 2.
It's very tight between about 16th and 22nd. All of those teams, there's, 6 points separates us. 10 games to go. It's almost a mini league.
Yeah, it really is, and every game pretty much probably like a cup final now. But the result from Tuesday was just like, sometimes when you're going through that sort of period and you're not winning games and you just notice your mistakes so much more. They're highlighted, and even when you're playing well, you make mistakes and you just forget about it because you're just in that mindset. So now they've won, hopefully that sort of cloud is lifted a bit and they can play with a bit more freedom. And I think hopefully today, with the opposition that we have today, it's a nice game to have after that result to try and get back-to-back wins and get some more points on the board. And the performance at Stevenage was promising. They've been having a good season, but we looked solid defensively, we looked positive and we looked strong. And hopefully that's something to build on today.
Yeah, I think Richie was absolutely right in his post-match interview when he said, we've been there with much better Orient teams on paper than we had on Tuesday night and put in much worse performances. I think that was the best I've seen an Orient team play under Richie Wellens at Stevenage. It's a notoriously tough place to play. We know what they're about, and we handled it superbly. I think that was the biggest thing from Tuesday in terms of, we have won games recently, I think, looking back to the Northampton game, and I think Richie's mentioned it, where it perhaps wasn't sustainable. It was a bit backs against the wall. It was getting out of there and being clinical and winning 2-1. But it didn't feel like that on Tuesday. It felt like we controlled the game, especially in the second half, produced a really mature performance against a really difficult team to play against. And I think that will give the team, hopefully, a little bit of confidence, which I think has been lacking in recent weeks. I think on paper, this is a good team of technical footballers. It's just about the mentality side, maybe has been knocked recently, and hopefully that win on Tuesday and that performance in particular gives them the boost to kick on now.
And Tuesday's game obviously is been and done. It's all about today's game now. And Peterborough 7 points ahead of us, but a winnable game. Yeah, definitely a winnable game, and when you can draw another team back into the fold and into the kind of relegation battle, it will breed some confidence, and they're going to be worried as well, Peterborough. So it's about hitting them fast and playing like the football with that belief, because they are really good players. We've got a genuine goal scorer up front, and like a lot of the times teams that have a goal scorer, one of like the top goals in the league,
you don't really go down. So it's about lifting on that, building upon that, and I think Tuesday's result will be fundamental for today's game.
Absolutely. Well, we'll come on to the team shortly, but first let's hear from the gaffer. It's Richie Wellens.
Peterborough really struggled at the start of the season, but since Luke Williams came in, they've really pushed up that table. What do you make of their squad?
I think about a young squad. I think it's littered with a load of talent. They're well renowned for developing young players and selling them on for huge profits. So I like the way that the club's run. The recruitment is obviously very, very good. Darren Ferguson over several periods has done an amazing job there. I think one of Luke's first games was against us. I don't think there was nothing in the game. I thought the referee was really, really poor on the day, and then he got a last minute winner. So I think after that they went on an unbelievable run. They got him into a real good position. So yeah, like you expect when you have a new manager, you have an impact. I think Luke's a good manager, good coach, play good football, so we expect a tough game.
What's the squad been like since Tuesday? It must have been full of positivity.
It's good. We've got a few injuries, but the lads that are fit are obviously winning breeds confidence, doesn't it? So Sean Clare will miss out because he's going to go for an injection on his shoulder today. Dan Happ's back in the squad. His scan came all clear. And we'll have to wait. Will Forrester will be out because he's gone for a scan, and we're just waiting back for the results of that.
How important is it to build on that Tuesday win, especially when you get into the later stages of the season?
No, I just think that this is a really, really good game for confidence to build from. The Northampton game was backs against the wall. The way that they play, we ground it out. We made a few chances, but we was pretty ruthless in front of goal, and we defended really well. Great for, you can only have 2 or 3 of them a season. But I think Tuesday's was a bit of a statement. It was, okay, we played good football in the past, but conceded. We was good in all aspects of the game. And against Peterborough, we'll need to do that again.
Straight into the team news then, and it's a couple of enforced changes for the O's, but let's take a look at the lineup in full. And starting in goal for the O's is number 12, Will Dennis. Across the back line, Tom James and James Morris are in the fullback positions, with Jack Simpson, who wears the armband today, alongside Caelan Casey. Azim Abdullah starts alongside Dylan Levitt, deep in the midfield, with Charlie Wellens just ahead of them in that 10 position. Ollie O'Neill's on the left side of attack, with Demetri Mitchell on the opposite flank, and Don Ballard leads the line on the bench for the O's. Killian Cahill, Dan Happy, Idris El Mazouni returns involved in the squad for the first time in months, and what a welcome sight that is. Tyreek Bakinson's there as his favour for Woodney, Sonny Perkins and Theo Archibald. I mean, he's only on the bench, so we won't talk about him too much. Hopefully we'll see him for a section of the game, but what a sight for Orient it is to see Idris El Mazouni back in the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's easy to say, but I do think we'd be in a different position in this League One table if Idris El Mazouni and Aaron Connolly hadn't picked up the significant long-term injuries that they have, because I think they're probably 2 of our 3 or 4 best players, and they make such a difference to the team, especially in midfield, where I think we've struggled in terms of Richie hasn't really had a settled midfield pairing all season. I think that can hamper you as a team when you don't have that base to build on, and you know what you're going to get with Idris. It's so much energy. He wins the ball back. He can drive forward with it. He's a brilliant player, and hopefully we get to see him again today in an Orient shirt, because it's always a pleasure. It
certainly is. But let's look at the starting lineup though, Jabbo. And defensively, you know, we were strong at Peterborough. We've lost Will Forrester to an injury, so it's Jack Simpson and Caelan Casey at the back. Not ideal, but it's a solid back line there, and a back four which is at home a bit more promising.
Yeah, it is. I think that's been a story for most part of the season. You know, not getting that real chemistry, that fixture of your defensive unit because of injuries and maybe loss of form at times. So it'd be nice to sort of keep some sort of consistency. But hey ho, that's football. And hopefully, with the confidence that's been breeded since Tuesday's game and training sessions, I'm sure there's an uplift, and I think they'll be fine. And Simpson in there, I think it's good for him to show the leadership he has and the qualities he has from playing in the high league. And
with Tom James keeping his spot at right back, that's good news. Hopefully he can find some consistency, because up against Cairo Lisby today, he's going to need to put in a good performance. Yeah, he definitely has. I mean, Lisby's been, there's been a lot of talk about him and his performances since his rise from non-league football and stuff, and he's going to be up against it. But Tom James is a good player, and it's down for him to
pick up that form, pick up the consistency, which we know his quality he has. And it's about just getting those games under your belt and getting the minutes under your belt. But he would have come against wingers like Lisby before, and it's a great opportunity for him to show what he's really about.
That feels like a key area of the pitch in the game today, that left-hand side of Peter against our right-hand side with Demetri Mitchell and Tom James. He tore us apart in the reverse fixture, I think it's fair to say, and a bit of nervousness around him today.
Yeah, he's a very good player, Kyrus Lisby, and I think he's a player that you look at Peterborough's side today and he is the standout. I think they've got a number of good players, but they've got injuries today, and he is the kind of last remaining one in that forward line that is fit. So it is almost, it's a little bit simplistic, but if you can prevent him from having a good day, then you nullify a lot of Peterborough's threat out there. And like Jabbo says, Tom James has been there, he's done it, he's faced numerous wingers of Lisby's level, and if he's on it like he was on Tuesday night, I thought he was excellent on Tuesday night. A very different proposition in terms of Stevenage and his direct opponent for Stevenage. He wasn't quite as quick and as dribbly as Lisby, but I think he had an excellent game. He showed his experience, showed his composure, and showed the kind of Tom James that we've seen over the years for Orient.
And our Peterborough counterparts are probably sat here previewing the game going, they've got one of the league's top scorers in Dom Ballard. So, hopefully some goals today, and hopefully when you've got a player of Dom's quality, 2 for him on Tuesday night, another 2 or 3 tonight would be good for us as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's, regardless of the team's form, his form's been exceptional. He knows where the ball is, he knows how to creep into goal scoring position, so he's always going to be a threat, and people have to be worried about him. And when you possess a player like that in our ranks, I think it just allows Peterborough not to get too gun-ho, and they have to sort of concentrate, and they can't just be as expansive as they might want to be. So it's fantastic, and long may he continues banging in those goals, but I think Peterborough will be worried for sure.
I mean, it feels like you go into every game and it feels like he's going to score. Ollie O'Neill, obviously one of the league's top assisters as well. We've got goals in us.
We do, and I think that's been the case all season. I don't think scoring goals has been the problem, really. We've always looked an attacking threat, and with Dom Ballard, the league's top scorer, you're always going to be in games. I think it's just about the other side of the game, defensively, but also game management-wise, just a little bit of experience, knowing when to slow the game down and do a little bit of the dark arts. I think that's what we've been lacking this season. So I think it's a case of, I think there'll be goals today. I think hopefully, obviously, more goals for Orient than Peterborough. But I think it's a game where we've got to build on Tuesday and show that bit of control and that bit of game management and experience, because it's quite a young Peterborough side. And I think looking at our team, there's just as much experience out there to do the job. I
want to talk about Demetri Mitchell a little bit, because he's maybe struggled to get fully going in his Orient career so far, but Tuesday night was probably his best performance in a no-shirt. An assist for him, as we'll see here, some really positive moments for him. He starts again today, of course, and hopefully he can continue what he started on Tuesday night.
Yeah, hopefully so, because he's a lively player, he's sharp, and when he's full of confidence, you start seeing the performance that you've seen today. The one touch around the corner, that's just confidence, and then he's not delaying and thinking about the pass he did. He's on his bike running again. So he's very sharp, lively when he's full of confidence, and he's buzzing. And obviously, he has a big presence outside of football as well. So you can see when everything's cooking for him, he can bring so much to the table. And sometimes when you're having a difficult season as a team, sometimes players find it hard just to find their feet within the squad, and maybe that's what he suffered with a bit this season. But there's no doubt he's high energy, he's very attacking, very forward thinking, and he can pose a real threat to Peterborough.
We know he's got ability, don't we?
Yeah, you just need to watch his highlight reel for Exeter when he signed. This guy is capable
of being the creative spark of a team, of scoring worldies, of taking players on and creating something out of nothing. And he hasn't quite shown that yet at Orient, but I think it's one of those, like Jabbo says, when you're in a team that's struggling and you're in and out of the team and playing different positions and you're not quite settled, then it can take a bit of time. It's normal not to be fully up to speed. But he's playing on that right wing today, which I think he'd probably say is his best position. And he looked really dangerous. I think fitness-wise, he probably only lasted about an hour. But if you can build on that and keep getting fitter and stronger and more comfortable and more confident, then we've got a real player on our hands on that wing.
Absolutely. Well, just over 15 minutes to go until kick-off. So, of course, don't forget, if you're watching along live on our YouTube preview stream, then you can follow all of the action with us here on Orient Live today. International fans, you can pick up a match pass for just £10. And if you're following from the UK, you can get an audio pass to listen along with Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock on commentary. But now, before we take a look at the visitors, let's hear from the man we were just discussing. It's Demetri Mitchell.
Yeah, it was a great feeling to win the game. Obviously, I'd been out the team for about 4 or 5 games, just biding my time really, and to go straight into starting. You know, we had a couple of games, friendlies, that were important for me to get some fitness to allow me to play fully fit and raring to go. And you know, to get the win, it was vital after not winning for a few matches. So yeah, buzzing for the lads, because it was a real togetherness performance. I'm 29 now. It's not the first time I've been out the squad, never mind not being in the team. So I think sometimes players can take it a bit, not be patient, and because I've been there before and experienced it, I knew it wasn't the end of the world. Sometimes, when you're younger, it can affect you a little bit more, but I know, obviously, I believe in my ability, and I felt like I'd get back in when the time's right. So yeah, just biding my time, and that's it really.
Leyton Orient trying to work the ball through Stevenage, and they have done. Here's Mitchell setting up Don Ballard. Ballard strikes! Oh, Don Ballard!
I was showing for the ball off Will, and he kind of made my mind up for me because I had to overstretch for the pass a little bit. So I felt the defender come in, and there's only one thing I could really do was like try and play around him and get the other side. So yeah, Will made my mind for me. If he played it to my feet, it probably would have been a trickier ball to deal with. And after that, it's just making the right decision and way to pass to Dom, and he finished it delightfully. So yeah, credit to him. It's going to be a total different game to Stevenage. Obviously, they like to get on the ball, play out from the back a lot. So we've got to be disciplined in the way that we press and make sure that we get after them, and don't let them play and just be all over them really. And I think if we can do that and show the composure that we showed against Stevenage, then we can win the game. Getting a win on Tuesday was good, but the performance itself was a very good performance. So if we can bring that performance into the weekend, not just a win, I think we can definitely get all 3 points. I think there was a lot of good individual performances on Tuesday. Azim was very good. Obviously, Dom got his 2 goals. The back line was solid. I know we conceded, but it was a penalty that I didn't think was a penalty. So everyone's got something to build confidence on, not just the win, but also individual performances. So the camp's been in good spirits, and hopefully we'll bring that into Saturday.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so, tune out now. If not, keep listening. Picture this: chef-made meals from local restaurants brought right into your workplace. No sad sandwiches, no tired menus. By tapping into the local restaurant scene, Fuda powers workplace dining for companies across the US, giving teams flavor, convenience, and authenticity. Half of Glassdoor's best places to work have partnered with Fuda. Is your team ready to upgrade its workplace food scene? Find out how at Fuda.com. That's FOODA.com.
You have a choice. You can waste 20, maybe 30% of your media budget, spend millions reaching bots, the wrong people, or no one at all. Or just use 0 to 1. It knows who's ready to buy. It's over 85% accurate. 0 wasted spend. The future of marketing isn't guessing. It's knowing.
Welcome back. Time to turn our attention now to the visitors, and it is the Posh who travel to E10 looking to pick up some points and get themselves further up the table as well. But starting it in goal for Peterborough is number 1, Alex Bass. It's a back four for them today as well, with Carl Johnson wearing the armband at left back and James Dornley is on the opposite side of the fence. David Okabuge and Peter Kioso are at the back, with Brandon Keeler and Archie Collins in midfield. Kyril Lisby's on the left, Declan Firth is on the right, and Jimmy Morgan plays just behind David Kamara. And on the bench for Luke Williams' side is Bastian Smith, George Nevitt, Harley Mills, Luca Mendonca, Patrick Skyett, Kian Hayes and Oluwat Puyademi at Ryoju. We've touched on them briefly, Brendan, but you know, they've got a few injuries. They're not the greatest side in the division. A relatively successful club, though, at this level for as League One goes. So I don't know. It's a hard one to call.
Yeah, it's I mean, also Luke Williams is a very good manager, but also he's a manager that plays good football, which I always think of a Richie Wellens Orient side. I always prefer us when we play against footballing sides than a Stevenage, even though we did win on Tuesday against Stevenage. But I think we prefer teams that come and have a go against us and won't just sit back and be direct and be physical. I think this Peterborough side is quite young. They're not the most physical. I think Richie's team selection kind of gives us a clue into how he views Peterborough. I think he could have quite easily made a like-for-like change in midfield in terms of Sean Clare coming out, Tyreek Backinson coming in. It would have been one physical midfielder for another. Instead, he's put Dylan Levitt in there, which Levitt is more of a ball player. He's a playmaker. He's someone you want dictating the play, getting on the ball and making things happen in there. And I think that shows that Richie sees this as it's not going to be necessarily the most physical battle. It's going to be a football match. It's going to be, can we outpass you? Can we press you? Can we score more goals than you, essentially? And I think today, hopefully, it's a game that will suit us and a game where we can go in with the confidence that we can outplay them.
They turned a profit of over £2 million last year, Jabbo. I mean, maybe not relevant to their performances on the pitch, but it shows that they're a well-run club. They sign good players. They've picked up Lisby out of non-league. They've got a reputation for doing that. They're going to have threats today.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they've done magic like that for many, many years, Peterborough, getting players from non-league and turning them into gold and selling them on. And the structure's been really good. Like you said, in League One, they've been, you know, they're a very strong team throughout and play progressive football. They haven't played in a couple of weeks, so hopefully they'll you know, sometimes you can be chomping at the bit full of energy, or sometimes you could just be, you know, you can get caught off guard. So, and they've been winless in 4, so they're not coming in with super great form. So we need to catch them. We need to catch them in that moment, and hopefully today we can. But they're going to be good. They're going to be sharp, regardless of. I know they've got a few injuries, but they generally play good football. They know the league very well. So hopefully it'll be a good footballing match. But we've got, as long as we can match the intensity of the game, I think we'll be okay.
And Jabbo makes a really good point there about the fact that we're on the back of playing Saturday, Tuesday. Peterborough have had 2 weeks off. I think Richie spoke about it in his pre-match and said it can go either way. It can either be you've had a long break or you're in the rhythm. I guess, Jabbo, you were obviously, when you were a player, it gets to March, you're in kind of the pit of the season where you should be fresh or you should be in the rhythm at least. What did you prefer if you were coming off the back of no games for 2 weeks, or would you rather have been in the rhythm?
I'd rather always be in the rhythm, if I'm honest, playing games and keeping that momentum, because if you're winning games and you have a break, it could be a bit different. But when you haven't won a game and you're on a break, then the next thing you want to do is get out there and try and get that win and try and get that result. So in this case, I'd rather be Orient for sure.
And you probably take a lot of confidence from that Tuesday night game as well. And where we were in the table, you hope we're the ones chomping at the bit more than Peterborough.
Yeah, definitely, and I think you'll see like a more fluid performance, even more so than Stevens, because like I said, when you're going through that, for whatever reason, you're still the same player, but in your mind, you just take an extra second to do certain things, and suddenly when the shackles are off, once you get that result, once you get that win and you start feeling yourself again, all of a sudden you just feel like, whew, I feel fluid, I feel sharp, and you start seeing the pictures even more. And hopefully that block in the mind has shifted, and we'll just see the football that we know we're very much capable of.
Absolutely. And you look at the last 8 games, Brendan, The only games they've won were against Wigan and Mansfield. They've picked up points against Exeter and Northampton. On paper, they're not in a great place themselves at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cliche, but they really did have that new manager bounce when Luke Williams came in. They were struggling. They were in the relegation zone. Everyone thought they were going to be right down there. And Luke Williams came in, gave them maybe a few new ideas, a new way of playing, and they had that initial spark. But really, since January, February, they haven't been too great, like you say, with their results. And the only results they have picked up recently are against sides that are down there and in and around us, like Northampton and Exeter. So, like Jabo says, when you've had a few weeks to kind of work on it and play, it's probably hard for your confidence in terms of you're not in that rhythm, you haven't been picking up results, and now you're against a team that hopefully this should be the most confident Orient team we've had this season, and we're seeing from their goals here that they're very good going forward. But I also think injuries will play a part today. I think, like I said before, a number of their forward line are missing. I think in particular Harry Leonard, who we're seeing here scoring a few goals, is their main number 9. He scored a lot of goals this season, but he's out today. They've really only got probably Lisby out of their starting front four, and that will have an impact. And hopefully that will be the difference today in terms of we've got that kind of sharper, more confident squad.
Absolutely, and we're going to need to be strong defensively, Jabbo.
Yeah, I think so. We've got to be able to communicate very well, not sort of like if someone does go forward, then we cover around, and the gaps need to be a little bit more narrower than maybe being so expansive that we don't get caught in behind or allowing sort of space for them to do their work, because they've got good forward players. And I think that's been pretty much some of the story of the season. So, because we're going forward, we know we can score, we've got threats. I just think as a unit and knowing in times of the game when to just be a little bit more street smart at times will be very important today.
Up until recently as well, Brendan, we've been good here at home. We need to make that count as well. And as we said at the top of the show, every game now feels big. We need to make this home advantage count.
Yeah, definitely. We've got to forget about a few recent home performances and look back to some of the ones kind of pre-Christmas where we took on some of the better sides in the league, such as Bolton and Stockport and Cardiff, and we matched them toe-to-toe. And if we can show that performance level, then there's no reason why we can't pick up a result today against a Peterborough side that definitely isn't on that sort of level.
And I mean, Peterborough at Brisbane Road evokes some memories, doesn't it, Brendan? I mean, not sure we'll reach the same levels of 2014 this afternoon, but it would be a big step. Yeah, I'd love Ollie O'Neill to score a goal reminiscent of Dean Cox's one in the playoff semi-final, and hopefully that's the case today. Jabbo, we've got to go out there. We've got to take the game to Peterborough today, don't we?
Yeah, we've got to go out there and be brave and take so much encouragement and so much positivity from Tuesday's result and put it on display today.
I know it doesn't matter how confident you are, Brendan. It matters how confident they are. But how do you think today's going to turn out? I'm fairly confident. I think there will be goals, but I would back a 3-1 Orient win today. 3-1.
I was going to go 2-1.
Well, confidence in the studio. I will remain impartial. We'll see how we get on. Well, kick-off is very nearly upon us. So let's hand over to our coach team of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.